Hi and welcome back with another video tutorial. In this video we will be looking at how we can create our custom alphas and how we can use them onto our meshes. So let's open this project that we used to work when we were working on radial symmetry. So we made this alpha, and if we want to use it onto our characters or onto some other assets, we can just create an alpha from it. So let's go to our transform menu and deactivate the symmetry for now. And in order to create alpha, you can just go to the alpha tab and click on from mesh here, and you can see that I can rotate and create an alpha from any angle which I want. So let's frame it again. Let's create an alpha of 1k map. So you can create at max of 2k map from this method, but I will be showing you some other methods in which you can create alphas for like 4k or 8k or as much as resolution as you want. So let's click OK, and you can see that an instance of this alpha has been created here. So if I go to my cylinder here, which is currently dynameshed, and let's turn off the symmetry on it as well and change my stroke to drag rect and drag an instance. You can see that I don't have enough subdivision, so it's very blurry right now. So what I can do is add 2 subdivision levels. You can see that I have divided it to 3 subdivision levels, and if I drag an instance right now, you can see that it is creating the same mesh that we have created here. So I can increase the intensity and drag it like this, and I can drag it on multiple instances. So alphas are different from insert mesh brushes. In the insert mesh brushes, you can see that we are adding additional geometry. So right now it's on subdivision level, so let me delete the subdivision levels, and you can see that the insert mesh has a different geometry than this one, and you cannot insert mesh on a subdivision levels, which is also a problem for me. So alphas are important. So if you have alphas, you can just drag it onto your geometry, and it will retain the subdivision levels and everything else. So you can also create meshes from the alphas. For example, if I have some other alpha and I want a 3D geometry from this alpha, so I can click on to mesh and it will create the geometry from this alpha. For example, if I have this arrow and I want it to generate some mesh from it, so I can just click on to mesh and it will generate some mesh from it. So you can see that we have this plane behind it, which I don't want right now. So what I can do is we have this make 3D tab. I can just click on this make 3D and it will generate a geometry. So right now the geometry looks pretty wobbly and I want it cleaned up. So what I can do is increase the resolution here and click on make 3D again, and you can see that it's sharp and crisp. So the only problem with using alpha is that it doesn't respect the undercuts. For example, let's go to our polystyrenic and let's append a cone or something. Yeah, not this one. Let's delete it. Okay. Yeah, this arrow 3D. So let's delete our polystyrenic, and you can see I'm adding subdivisions onto it, and I'm clicking on from mesh, and you can see that we don't have any information of this undercut, this part here. We don't have any information of this part here in the alpha. For example, if I drag an instance of this current alpha here, you can see that we doesn't have this undercut. So for the undercuts and other stuff, we will be looking at VDM brushes and how we can create our custom VDM brushes in the next video. But for now we will be looking at alphas. So if your geometry doesn't have undercuts, you can just create an alpha, and if your geometry has some undercuts, you can just create a custom VDM brushes, which we will be looking at in the next video. So we can also modify our alpha. So here we have the modify tab, and we can modify our alphas from here. So we have edge tiles, and we have horizontal vertical tiles, and we have some other options here which we can use to play uh, on our alpha. So for example, I have this alpha and now it's tiled. For the standard brush it won't work, but for the clay tubes and other brushes, so if I select this alpha and change my stroke to drag rect, you can see that it's dragging multiple instance of the same brush like this. So you can see that we have some etching going on at the end, which you can see that we have these edges right here, which we can somehow counter by changing our alphas to the surface and dragging an instance, and yeah, we can just play with the mid values and tweak the mid values, and it will be gone. And well, it's always better to just make your alpha by dragging out. For example, we have this mesh right here, so if we go to from mesh, we can just zoom it a little bit out so that we have some space on the edges, and we can just bake the alphas, and then there won't be any type of etching going on at that. But the edging is there because of this plane, so if we have this complete corners, there won't be any edging onto the alpha. So let's look at some other method of creating alpha. So for example, we have this document here, and we can just go to our alpha tab and click on grab doc, and let's undo the tiling on it, and you can see that this alpha is different from the one we have made already. So grab doc, it creates an alpha based on the document. So for example, if I grab doc again, you can see that it's totally small, and if I grab doc now, and you can see that it's still somewhat small, but it's almost filling the space. So the best way to make the alpha is to make the document, make your document accordingly. So for example, if I want to bake a 4K alpha, I can just click on 4096 and resize my document accordingly, and you can see my document is behaving weirdly. I can just press on Ctrl N and drag an instance, go to edit mode, and right now my document is way too big, so I am just zooming out my document, not this viewport. So I can just press F, and right now this document is of 4K size. And if I go to my alpha tab and grab doc, you can see that this alpha is of 4096 resolution. So I can also export this alpha from here and just save it on my desktop or wherever I want. Temp alpha. So this is how we can create an alpha of more resolution, more than 2K. So we can also create alpha. If we go to the render tabs, we can see that there must be somewhere, yeah. So we have this all of the renders. So the depth is the alpha. We can just render it out, and yeah, so we can just click on this depth map here and save this wherever we want. This is also a way of creating alpha, temp 2. So if I open those two maps on my desktop, you can see that both of them are same, and one is created from the render and the other one is created from the grab doc, and both have 4096 resolution. So these are the multiple ways we can create alpha. You can see that making document bigger has slowed down my computer, so it is very important that you make your document according to what your PC can support. So I will be just creating a new document, and now my document size has been the same as it was. So I can just zoom in my document and I can fill it up like this. So yeah, so now it's my document is smooth. So hope you like the videos, and see you in the next video.